So namaste aap sabko. Thank you for joining in, and thank you Mrs. Kapoor and Ajay for having me here. Um, I have been, apart from the professional side, right? I have been doing yoga for quite some years now. I teach yoga professionally as well, and more than the reason I do it is because I have personally benefited significantly from yoga, एंड इट जस्ट फील्स लाइक अगर मैंने इतना कुछ सीखा है, इतना जाना है, इतना इम्प्रूवमेंट मेरे लाइफ में देखा है, देन इट्स क्लियरली समथिंग विच शुड बी स्प्रेड अराउंड मोर. So that's the reason why I am so passionate about yoga. It's largely from personal experience. Um, so what do we want to do today, right? We are here today to understand how yoga can help in stress management. But I want to do it in two parts. I want to first start with what is stress. Do we understand stress completely? That's the bigger question, right? Because sometimes when you know what a thing is, it becomes easier to deal with it. If I can just get one of you to answer, right? What is stress? According to you, stress क्या है? How do you know कि आप stress में हो या नहीं हो? Because we always talk about stress. But how do you figure out that there is stress? उसके लिए आपको क्या लगता है कि अच्छा ये stress है, ऐसे होता है तो stress है? Anybody would want to share something? Anybody?
Yeah, it will be in people are typing in chat.
Okay. Worrying about the unknown. Yes, very good. Worrying about the unknown, we don't know. There is uncertainty, right? We don't want to miss out on anything. Any other thought? Stress क्या होता है या कैसे होता है? Okay, fine. I think we all know stress, right? हम सब stress से किसी ना किसी time पे गुजरे हुए होते ही हैं. So it's we inherently know stress. We feel it. हमको पता है कि यार आज बहुत stress हो गया है. I have to meet this deadline, right? That is one stress which we all have faced in our regular work, in our profession. कि भाई deadline set हुआ है, we are not yet there and we have to complete it within a certain time frame. So Asif ji writes, thinking too much about something which is beyond your control. Exactly. So that is another thing, right? We are trying to figure out things which are sometimes not in our control. Now, having that awareness that it is not in our control and we are thinking too much about it is already the first step in dealing with stress. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हम समझते ही नहीं है कि stress क्यों है. Lot of times we don't even know that the thing is out of our control, right? We still want to achieve it. And to be very frank, stress is not always bad. Okay, you might have experienced it yourself that कई बार stress में your performance improves, right? You know something has to be done in a certain time and you will ensure it gets done, but that period you feel stressful. You feel that there is a lot of mental pressure. You're focused on getting something done in a short period of time. You probably don't have the right resources, but you still get it done. So it improves your performance. आप हफ्ता भर बैठोगे to get something done, नहीं होता है. Deadline के 2 दिन पहले जब बहुत stress आ जाता है, quickly things get done, right? So there, stress is actually helping us get things done. Stress कब होता है? Stress, say if somebody gets something that we have wanted, right? किसी को कोई promotion मिल गया. पढ़ाई में बच्चों को we always say कि भाई if you get something done, I will give you a cycle. Or we say देखो, the other kid has done so well. If you get something done, again I will reward you in a certain way. So in that way, we are also creating a sort of stress for the kid. And with that stress, which is actually a motivating factor, the kid actually ends up performing well, right? So it is not necessarily bad. Then what is bad? Then why is stress an issue? We have seen its positive side, but we have also seen its negative side. Continuously जब कोई stress में रहता है, continuously if you are running towards a deadline, continuously you are आपके दिमाग में ये है कि भाई मुझे ये नहीं मिला, मुझे ये चाहिए था, I wanted this, I didn't get it, I did not want this, I got it, right? I like this, I can't handle. And some things are very simple, like all of us have gone through कि यार मुझे ये पेड़ा पसंद है, पर मेरा वजन बढ़ जाता है and I'm stressed about it. I want to eat it but I can't eat it and that is making me so miserable in life, right? I want to wake up early in the morning to start exercising, but I can't get up. Now I don't do anything about it. I still don't wake up in the morning, but mentally I'm thinking about it, right? So worrying about the unknown, actually worrying about the known as well. Sometimes we know we can do it, but somehow there is a resistance in our mind, can't do it, but the stress is there. We feel it. How do we know we feel it? एक तो दिमाग में you are constantly thinking about that one thing, right? That is one. Second, you see that you become very restless. किसी किसी के इसमें they start eating more to comfort themselves. So I used to be a stress eater. कि टेंशन है, एग्जाम है तो खाने लगो. Somehow I thought कि वो comfort food जाएगा तो it will relieve me of the stress. Some people run around, walk around, you know, एकदम restless, जैसे हम गुजराती में कहते हैं घांघा फांफा थे गया एकदम. So it's like that. They don't know how to control the physical reaction that is coming out of stress. Though that is still manageable, right? Where it gets worse is that at some point in time, when it becomes prolonged stress or being under stress for a longer period of time, you see कि आपका digestion suffer कर रहा है, constipation हो गया, घड़ी घड़ी बीमार पड़ रहे हो, जीवन से रस उड़ गया. ऐसा लगता है कि यार what am I doing all this for, right? There is a tinge of depression. बहुत डिप्रेशन भी हो जाता है, but it's like यार what am I doing all this for? छोड़ो, कुछ नहीं करना है. Give up मोड आ जाता है. Your efficiency suffers. The positive side, the efficiency which had come in goes away when it gets prolonged for a much longer time, right? And what we don't see a lot of times is how our immunity is disturbed. हम बीमार पड़ते रहते हैं. We always think कि बाहर का कारण है. We never associate it with the stress or the mental imbalance that we have caused in our system, right? So stress, when it gets too prolonged or when it gets too much for our system to handle, that is when it starts becoming a problem. Actually, our shastras talk a lot about stress. जैसे पतंजलि योग सूत्र में पतंजलि ऋषि ने स्ट्रेस के बारे में लिखा है. He calls it चित्त विक्षेप. चित्त विक्षेप, very simply, disturbance in the brain, right? Now, what causes disturbance in the brain? Exactly what we discussed. He said that if you have a disease already, your body, there's a disease in the body, there is a disturbance in your mind. If you have a wrong perception of things, right? If you're comparing yourself with somebody where you can't ever get, but you are always putting yourself towards goals which cannot be reached. So there it is creating a disturbance in your head. You want something, you don't get it. Disturbance in the head. You don't want something, you are pushed to do it. Again, disturbance in the head. So all these things he actually lays out, and he says all these cause chitta vikshepa. And how do the chitta vikshepa manifest? They manifest in the form of dukha daurmanasya, angame jayatvam, and shwasa prashwasa. So it is like it causes you misery. Mentally आप दुखी feel करते हो, ठीक है? That dukha is actually the manifestation of mental disturbance. Dormanasya is just that, being restless and not happy with what's happening around you, right? Then he says, angame jayatvam, we become very restless. There are tremors in the body. Those are also manifestation of stress. And lastly, shwasa prashwasa. If you have noticed, right, if you are under a lot of stress, your breathing cycle becomes very fast. You're like breathing much faster. You're breathing faster, your breathing becomes shallow. आप deep breathing नहीं कर रहे. And इसीलिए आप देखो, हम जब किसी को देखते हैं stress में, what do we say? कि शांत बैठ जाओ. Don't say anything. Sit down. First relax. Do deep breathing. Then let's talk. And in that 5 minutes of calming down, the person already starts feeling little better. The mind starts clearing up, right? So what has happened? So let's understand this part in terms of science. So what is stress? What happens in our body, right? So to explain this, I will share a few slides. And before we go into the slides, just to explain a little bit what our body is, right? We see our body as me, कि मैं, ये सब, ये हाथ मेरे, पाँव मेरे, सर मेरा, मैं तो ऐसा ही हूँ, है ना? मुझे कुछ अच्छा नहीं लगता तो नहीं अच्छा लगता, मुझे कुछ अच्छा लगता है तो अच्छा लगता है. I am a night person, I am a morning person. We associate everything with ourselves, this me. But what is this me? So if you think about it, we are all basically a very complex electrochemical system. Okay, and to understand this electrochemical system, I'll share a few slides. Sorry, share screen. You can see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet? I shared it. Abhi?
No.
Okay, one second. Abhi, can see?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. So what are we, right? What is this I or we that we talk about? As I was saying, we are basically a complex electrochemical system. Sorry. To start with, from the exterior, we have our skin, right? That is the most exterior observable part of the body that we see. Then you have a muscular system. Within the muscular system, there is a skeletal system. This is our physical body. Then to get for the functioning of the body, we have multiple systems, right? We have the respiratory system and the circulatory system. So to keep our body going, we have to breathe in, we have to breathe out, right? So that is our respiratory system, the lungs part of it. Then we have our blood circulation system. Now, why do we need blood circulation? Because our cells need fuel to function. जैसे कार में पेट्रोल की जरूरत होती है, हमें खाने की जरूरत होती है, ऑक्सीजन की जरूरत होती है. But this oxygen and the nutrients have to reach all the cells of our body so that the cells can actually produce energy and we can function. That is done through the circulatory system by circulating blood through our body. Then we have the other systems. We have the lymphatic system, which controls our immunity. Sorry. We have the digestive system. Of course, जो हम खाना खाते हैं, उसका processing nutrients उसमें से निकालना चाहिए, which go to all the cells of our body, right? So that is the digestive system. Then you have the excretory system. जो wastage है, वो निकल जाना चाहिए. Then you have the reproductive system to ensure that our species goes on, right? So these are the physiological systems. Then you have the energy systems, the respiratory and circulatory. And eventually, which is the least seen, are the neurological systems. So neurological systems are essentially those which control all these activities, the physiological, physical, mental activity in our body. Okay, so one is the nervous system and the other is the endocrine system. The nervous system works through neurotransmitters or signals, if you may, and endocrine through the hormones in our body, through hormone secretion. Okay, now to control all of this, we have the brain. So this is where everything starts. Our brain, which is divided into 3 broad sections, if I may. Yeah, the outermost is the neocortex, which is the thinking brain, जिससे हम analysis करते हैं, decision making करते हैं. Then this part where you see the orange arrow, that is the limbic brain, where we process our emotions, feelings. हम कहते हैं कि अरे मुझे ये अच्छा लग रहा है, नहीं अच्छा लग रहा है, मुझे मजा आ रहा है, नहीं मजा आ रहा है. Those kinds of emotions are processed here in the limbic brain. And then you have the reptilian brain. Reptilian brain is basically that part which all animals have, right? It controls your physical activities, chalna, phirna, postures, how you sit, how you walk, all those movement and activities. And it also controls the involuntary actions. Involuntary actions like, just one sec. How do I come back? Huh. I'm trying to stop sharing this. Huh. Okay. So the involuntary systems. Involuntary systems are कि अभी I am talking to all of you, but I'm also breathing, right? I might have eaten food, वो digest हो रहा है, मुझे पता नहीं है, पर वो चल रहा है. Those activities are going on, right? I'm breathing, my blood circulation is going on, the metabolic processes are going on. तो ये सब तो अंदर चल रहा है without my even knowing about it. Those are our involuntary processes. Now they have to go on for our living. So brain has given them a separate system altogether कि भाई आप इस area से चलाते रहो. Okay. So voluntary activities are controlled through the brain, the cortex part of it. Then you have the involuntary activities that are going on from the medulla oblongata, जो नीचे का part हमने देखा था. And then you have the emotional brain. Okay. अब होता क्या है कि whenever any input signal comes to the brain, right? It is first, it is processed. It goes both ways. It goes to the emotional brain as well as to the thinking part of the brain. For example, if I see a piece of pedha, or if I like samosa, so if I see a piece of samosa, the sensory input of the sight of samosa goes into my head, right? That goes into both my thinking brain as well as my emotional brain. Now my emotional brain has two parts, has rather 2 points, which are my pleasure and pain points. The input of the samosa is triggering my pleasure area. मुझे याद आता है कि अरे वाह, last time मैंने समोसा खाया था, वो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा था. I want it again. Okay. Now the decision has to eventually be taken by my thinking brain. So my thinking brain should say, हाँ ठीक है, pleasure तो मिला था, but somewhere the memory is also there कि मैंने जब खाया था तो मेरा पेट बिगड़ गया था, या मैंने जब खाया था तो मेरे को मेरा वजन बढ़ गया था. ठीक है. So those inputs are also stored in the memory, and thinking brain has to take a decision and give an instruction to your lower brain to say हाथ आगे करके खा लो. ठीक है. Now what happens is, in most of us over time, through our conditioning or whatever, through our other, the other input going into the brain कि भाई इससे वजन बढ़ गया था, इससे पेट खराब हो गया था, ये स्पाइसी है बहुत, ये सब आते ही नहीं है. My emotional system is usually so strong that even without or even before my thinking brain starts processing, I immediately react and I take the samosa and eat it. खा लिया, उसके बाद मुझे लगता है कि अरे बाप रे क्यों खाया. ठीक है. That's when after I am satisfied and everything, the signal, then my brain tells me कि यार नहीं खाना चाहिए था. But it's already too late by then. Okay. So this is what happens in the, so for a lot of us, lot of our actions are driven by our emotions. पता है हम कहते हैं कि यार इमोशन में आके डिसीजन मत लो, इमोशन में आके डिसीजन लोगे तो वो गलत डिसीजन होगा. Be objective. We always say be objective. What is being objective? Being objective is taking the decision making control from the emotional system back into our thinking system. That is basically being objective, where you can weigh both the pros and cons of things you want to do. अच्छा, अब ऐसा है तो why do we even need this system of the sensory input going to the emotional brain at all? जरूरत ही नहीं है ना, वो वहां जा रहा है इसलिए सारा प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट कर रहा है. अगर उसमें जाए ही नहीं तो इवन बेटर. ठीक है. But there is a reason for having for giving emotional brain a little bit of control of that. Yeah, our emotional brain has something called as hypothalamus. Okay. Now what does hypothalamus do? Hypothalamus has control of our involuntary actions, breathing, respiration, all of that. But उसके अलावा it also controls our autonomic nervous system. Okay. तो पहले स्लाइड में हमने देखा कि we have a nervous system. This nervous system is processing signals from the brain, sending it to different parts of our body, and also taking inputs from different parts of our body and sending it to the brain to allow the brain to take right kinds of decisions. ठीक है. Simple things like जैसे मुझे भूख लगती है तो मुझे खाना खाना है. To trigger in the brain that this is the time to eat now, first there will be a signal, there will be something called as ghrelin, which is secreted in my head. That will tell me भूख लगा है. Then I eat. जब मैं खाऊंगी तो मुझे जब शुगर लेवल सही हो जाएगा बॉडी में तो it goes back into my brain and says अच्छा ठीक है अब मत खाओ. ठीक है. This is how the nervous system functions, basically taking input and giving input to ensure our system works properly. Now there are 2 parts to our nervous system. One is the central nervous system, controlled directly from the brain. Central nervous system will basically tell me कि अच्छा ये उठा लो, ये यहाँ से आप वहाँ चलो, अब आप भागो, ठीक है. To do all these voluntary activities where I decide कि मुझे ऐसा करना है and I do, that is managed by my central nervous system. And my autonomic nervous system is the one which manages other actions, which are the voluntary ones. कि अच्छा सांस तो ले रहे हैं, वो तो चल रहा है, digestion तो हो रहा है ना. Now autonomic nervous system has two parts, and I will go back into the slide mode to so that you understand. Okay, share screen. Can you see my screen? दिख रहा है? You can see the screen, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So our autonomous nervous system has two parts. These terms sound little technical and biological, but I think एक बार आप समझो ना, तो it is very simple and very understandable also. ठीक है. तो autonomous nervous system के दो भाग हैं. एक what we call the parasympathetic nervous system and what we call the sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic is the fight and flight system, and parasympathetic is the rest and recover system. अच्छा. Ab I said we have something in the brain that controls this autonomic nervous system, which is the hypothalamus. ठीक है. Now, why do we need these two systems? Okay. अब आप देखो, अगर आप कहीं जंगल में हो या कहीं पर भी हो and आपको एक शेर दिखता है, ठीक है. Now your immediate reaction when you see the शेर should be to run away, right? That has to be a reflex action. You shouldn't be sitting there and doing all the permutation combination of probability of the शेर coming and eating you. ठीक है. या अरे शेर शायद भूखा नहीं होगा तो चला जाएगा. ये सब आपको सोचना नहीं होता है तब. There is a threat to your life and you have to ensure you run away from that threat, right? So what the sympathetic nervous system does is that when your pain point in the brain picks up a threat signal. Now that threat can be a real danger threat or it can be a fear, right? It picks up that threat signal and immediately it says, okay, I need to get into action and save myself. That is the fight and flight. So what will the sympathetic nervous system do is that it will take control in its hand and सारा जो energy है, it will pull towards itself. So your heartbeat will start pumping. Your heart will start pumping very fast. क्योंकि your body now needs more blood. Why does it need more blood? Because you want to run, right? So to run, you need energy. For that energy, you need that energy has to be in your limbs to be able to run. कि भागना है, तेज हाथ पाँव में आपको शक्ति चाहिए. वो शक्ति के लिए उस तरफ उन limbs में you need more blood. And you need more oxygen. Because you need more oxygen, you start breathing very fast. ठीक है, जिससे you take in more air and more air will then translate into oxygen towards all this body and the blood will go towards this part of your body, the hands and legs to run. ठीक है. Now what will happen is you have limited amount of blood, right? So the blood which is pushed into your hands and legs to run so that you have more energy there, it comes from stopping or restricting the blood to the other parts of your system. For example, your stomach. तो जो आपका involuntary digestive activity हो रहा है, वो थोड़ी देर के लिए बंद हो जाएगा. ठीक है. आपके brain में जो बाकी processing, finding the bigger picture और वो सब है, वो सारा बंद हो जाएगा. Because you don't have enough blood reaching there. Your focus is right now in running away from that threat, and it is important. Now, once you have reached a place where there is no more share, you are at peace, then the parasympathetic nervous system kicks in again. ठीक है, sympathetic को बोलते हैं चलो अब आप आराम करो, and parasympathetic senses की नहीं अब ठीक है, there is no more fear, I can become active, and then what it does is it normalizes all the other processes. वापस जो खून है वो जो स्टमक जो आपके मेटाबॉलिक सिस्टम्स में नहीं जा रहा था उसमें द ब्लड विल स्टार्ट फ्लोइंग, योर ब्रीदिंग कम्स बैक टू नॉर्मल, हार्ट बीट कम्स बैक टू नॉर्मल, you start and everything starts processing normally. So the parasympathetic system is the one which allows you to rest, and the sympathetic system is the one which allows you to fight and flight and run away and do all the heavy activity. Okay, that is your sympathetic system, and you need both these systems. It's not one or the other. ठीक है. Now what is stress? ठीक है. Whenever the sympathetic nervous system gets active on its own, assuming a sense of threat, that is stress. So being in your fight and flight mode, that is stress. Okay. Now, why is it bad? Okay, is this clear? कि स्ट्रेस क्या होता है, फाइट एंड फ्लाइट सिस्टम, ये क्लियर हो गया? लेट मी नो, या मे बी वी जस्ट स्टॉप फॉर 5 minutes and then if there are questions we can move on after that. Till here everything clear ab tak? Yeah, it was too much of technical stuff. See, the idea is when we know what exactly is happening in our body, we tend to deal with it better, right? That is why I wanted to speak about the biology a little bit. Okay, now if your sympathetic system is active when it needs to be, if there is a real threat and it is active, it's great. For example, you have a deadline to meet and you have to ensure you meet that deadline, right? Now aap dekho, why does your performance increase when you are under stress? Because your system, your sympathetic system becomes active. It takes away energy from everywhere else and says, नहीं, अभी ये काम मुझे करना है, I am going to fully focus in this one thing, ठीक है? But आपको उस समय कोई mathematical problem आके solve करने को बोले, you won't be able to do it. Because that analytics part of your brain is for now switched off. You are completely focused on achieving this specific target that you have in mind, right? Because your brain has sensed a threat कि भाई नहीं करोगे, then there will be repercussions of it. So this threat is there, and this threat, as in sports, is actually not bad. It helps you focus. Now you see this, right? अगर यही longer term पे चलता है, if every now and then your pain center starts picking up threats and starts kicking in, firing the sympathetic system, you see what happens? आपका जो बाकी प्रोसेसेस, इनवॉलंटरी प्रोसेसेस जो चलना चाहिए था, योर नॉर्मल ब्रीदिंग, योर नॉर्मल फंक्शनिंग ऑफ द बॉडी, योर नॉर्मल डाइजेशन, एक्सक्रीशन, योर डिटॉक्सिफिकेशन, इम्यूनिटी बिल्डअप, ये सब बंद हो जाता है. Because your brain is only focused at that point on protecting you from that stress. If that becomes longer, फिर क्या होता है? If that period becomes longer, then slowly when energy doesn't reach the other systems, they start behaving weirdly. ठीक है, डाइजेशन खराब हो गया because वो हो नहीं रहा था, वहां पे एनर्जी नहीं पहुंच रहा था, है ना? जो आपका सिस्टम है कि भूख लगी है, खाया तो अब शांति हो गई, which manages the energy balance in the system. तो वो जो हो रहा था कि भाई you intake and then your outflow of the energy has to be the same, that gets totally disrupted because you are not getting the right signal of eating. वो part आपका brain का जो है, which the thinking brain should be doing and ensuring it works in the body the way the rhythm of your all parts of the body are maintained, वो disturb हो जाता है because of stress. And if it happens for a longer time, it starts showing in your body कि भाई थोड़ा सा डाइजेशन खराब हो गया. दैट्स यूजुअली द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. लोगों को डायबिटीज हो जाता है, इम्यून सिस्टम खराब हो जाता है, यू स्टार्ट फॉलिंग सिक बिकॉज यू स्टार्ट फॉलिंग सिक एट द स्मॉलेस्ट ऑफ द रीजन, राइट? एंड ऑल दिस देन इवेंचुअली मेक्स इट इवन मोर टफर फॉर यू टू डील विद द स्ट्रेस. दुख दौर्मनस्य जो पतंजलि कहते हैं कि यू स्टार्ट लूजिंग इंटरेस्ट इन लाइफ. योर हैप्पीनेस हार्मोन्स जैसे डोपामीन है, एंड्रोफ्रिन है, ये सारे हार्मोन्स विच आर एसेंशियल to keep you in a level, in a steady state of happiness or feel good or satisfied, that doesn't happen anymore. Because your endocrine, your system itself is not working the way it should. सारा disturb हो गया है, सारा rhythm systems का disturb हो गया है. इसीलिए you start feeling depressed. ठीक है, and sometimes this depression becomes chronic. So that is another level altogether. So you see, your brain is actually having any disturbance in your brain is showing in your physical system. ठीक है. But also remember, any change you make in your external system will also reflect back into your brain. So that is how yoga actually works. Yeah. Okay. So now before I get into the yoga bit of it, just again taking a break. What is stress? Stress is firing of your sympathetic system, which is a flight and fight system. Stress is not always bad. Stress is great sometimes to help you perform well. It becomes bad when it becomes too prolonged, or your emotional system becomes so strong that it keeps sensing threat every time and starts firing your sympathetic nervous system so that it starts impacting your overall body and your brain. That is when it starts becoming a problem. Okay. Now, how do we deal with this? Very simple. ठीक है, जैसे हमने कहा कि your limbic system is actually sensing this threat, right? And it starts picking up this threat. Even मुझे ये खाना था और मैं नहीं खा पाई, that also makes me angry. So that is also a threat seen by my body, and my sympathetic nervous system kicks in to somehow help me get that food. ठीक है. If somehow now I take back the control from the emotional system back into my thinking system, I will be fine. So in a way, it's very simple. You just take back the control that has been given to emotional system back into your thinking system. And that is it, done, right? Very easy. Basically, हम जो कहते हैं कि मन को कंट्रोल में करो, this is just that. मन को कंट्रोल में करना है. मन को कैसे कंट्रोल में करोगे? जब मन आपके बुद्धि के कंट्रोल में आएगा. But how do you do it is the question, right? How do you do, तुम्हारे मन को कैसे कंट्रोल में करो? मुझे मालूम है कि मुझे फ्रूट्स खाने चाहिए, मुझे प्रोसेस्ड फूड नहीं खाना चाहिए, ठीक है, मुझे मालूम है मुझे रोज एक्सरसाइज करनी चाहिए, आलस बन के बैठा नहीं रहना चाहिए, आई शुडंट बी वेस्टिंग टाइम प्लेइंग वीडियो गेम्स, ये सब मालूम है, बट आई कांट डू इट. व्हाई? बिकॉज मन इज दैट स्ट्रॉन्ग. एक्चुअली दैट इज व्हाई इन गीता Krishna is telling Arjun to be balanced in view, to become yogastha. Being yogastha is to have balance in your entire system and your mind. Balance within and balance outside. Okay, he tells Arjun कि यार मन को वश में रखो. Arjun says, okay, बहुत अच्छे, मन को वश में रखो, वो तो ठीक है, but मन को रखो कैसे वश में? वो कहता है चंचल ही मन कृष्ण, चंचलम ही मन कृष्ण, प्रमाथि बलवृद्ध दृढ़म. ये मन जो है वो तो इतना बलशाली है और इतना प्रमाथि है, इतना चंचल है कि trying to control it is like trying to control वायु. How do you do it, right? And Krishna says, अभ्यासेन तु कौन्तेय वैराग्येण ही जायते वैराग्येण च गृह्यते. And this is exactly the same thing which even Patanjali says, that how do you achieve yoga or whatever that state of balance? He says, abhyasa vairagyabhyam tan nirodha. So what is this vairagya and what is this abhyas, right? So now we are moving towards finding the right abhyas which can help us control our brain. Okay, now what is vairagya? To very simply understand vairagya, it is not going into the forest and becoming a sannyasi. That is also vairagya, okay, but essentially vairagya is कि आपका जो pleasure और pain centers जो घड़ी घड़ी kick in हो रहे हैं, जो fire up हो रहे हैं, ensure they don't kick up like this. Ensure that the external stimuli is not disturbing your pleasure and pain centers too much. It is what vairagya means. They say detached हो जाओ, है ना? Let something not become so important to you that your reactions get skewed and it creates stress. In short, that is vairagya. But how do you achieve that? That is through abhyasa. Now, what is abhyasa? Okay, that's where yoga comes in. Okay. And what happens in योग? अगर हम स्ट्रेस को साइंटिफिकली समझते हैं तो हमको योग को भी साइंटिफिकली समझना होगा, बिकॉज अगर हम समझेंगे तभी हमें पता चलेगा कि क्यों करना चाहिए. ओके, सो योग, technically we see a lot of yoga videos. It's all about asanas, postures. Yeah, definitely asana and postures, asanas are a big part of yoga, but that's not the only part. Ashtanga yoga talks about 8 parts of yoga, jisme we have yam, niyam, we have asana, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, and then eventually samadhi. Okay, now yam, niyam are essentially to help you change your perception or help you develop the right attitude towards the world, and that will require a session in itself, so I'm not going there for now. I'm just trying to see how we can pull the low hanging fruits. Yeah, and the low hanging fruits are essentially through asana and pranayam. Okay, now what happens? How is it that asana and pranayam will help us control our mana and help us deal with stress? Stress is caused due to mana not being in control, our mana not being in control. If you control the man, then of course your life will become better, but as stress dealing bhi ho jayega. So as I said, to control mana, you have to ensure that the control system goes back into your brain, into your thinking part of the brain. How do you do that? When you are doing an asana, right? When you are in a posture, what happens? You have to be aware of being in that posture. आपके दिमाग में 100 ख्याल चल रहे होंगे, you will not be steady, right? So the teacher will always tell you, be present here. Even simple, आपको ताड़ासन करना, you are standing on your toes and stretching your hands up. That balance also will not come unless you are aware of that position. So by being aware itself, you are pushing the control from your emotional system to your thinking system, to your cortex. Cortex is the part which gets triggered when you bring awareness to something. So now cortex gets into the आदत कि अच्छा भाई, I have to be active every now and then. ऐसा नहीं है कि I have given up all the rights and decision making to the mana. No, I will have to do some work. So you are triggering cortex into that mode where it becomes aware of the position and helps you hold that position. How? By controlling your lower brain directly. If your lower brain is directly controlled by your thinking brain, that is how you stay in a position for longer. Okay, you get more stability. आप देखो, आप अगर टेंशन में हो ना तो आपका पोस्चर भी ऐसा हो जाता है. You start slouching. Why? Because your lower part of the brain comes under the influence of your emotional brain. Your emotional brain is disturbed. The balance in your lower part of the brain, which controls your physical postures, also gets disturbed, and you start slouching. So you have to tell yourself कि अरे सीधा बैठो. ठीक है? The सीधा बैठना itself takes effort when the awareness comes, and that's when again your cortex is kicking in. So whenever you are aware, you will be sitting straighter. You will be sitting in a lot more stability, right? So asan karne se simply you are giving back control to your brain. Whenever the cortex is in control, your parasympathetic nervous system will be active, the one which allows you to rest and recover, which means it will help all other systems of your brain to work properly. For example, your digestive system, circulatory system, whatever. Yeah. The other part is pranayam. Now pranayam is even easier to understand, because we have experienced कि जब stress होता है तो our breathing becomes very irregular, right? बहुत fast हो जाता है या short breathing हो जाता है. And we also saw कि उसी time कोई कहे कि अरे शांति से बैठो, relax, think, breathe deep and then talk. So already the brain starts calming. So it works in reverse, right? When you start slowing down your breath, you are telling your system that there is no more threat anymore. Sympathetic system, आप cool down हो जाओ. Parasympathetic system, आप kick in हो जाओ. Let your brain cool down, and this is happening by making your cortex aware. Okay, your cortex is now aware, and it says, okay, fine, everything is fine. I am going to ensure the respiration is slower and deeper. A slower and deeper breathing ensures better oxygen diffusion in the body. Now, what is oxygen diffusion, right? हम breathe तो करते हैं, तो हम breathe करते हैं तो कोई हम सिर्फ oxygen नहीं breathe करते हैं. We breathe air. Okay, this air goes into our lungs, and in the lungs we have something called as alveoli. Now, without terms, lungs के अंदर blood pulls out the oxygen part of the air and sends in the carbon dioxide part. Okay, and then this oxygen is taken, given to cells, blah blah blah, and then the whole energy process happens. This transfer of oxygen and carbon dioxide is called basically oxygenation. So oxygen diffusion. Because you breathe easy, because you breathe deeper, जिस membrane से वो exchange हो रहा है, that becomes relaxed and stretched. जब ये stretched है तो उसका diameter जो है आप कहोगे, उसका surface area बढ़ गया. Surface area बढ़ गया तो अच्छे से transfuse हुआ वो. अगर कुछ ऐसा है, एकदम ऐसे versus कुछ ऐसा है, the space itself allows better diffusion of gases. So your blood can carry an adequate amount of oxygen, which is needed for the different parts of your body to function, the different cells to function. So this is how, yeah?
I'm sorry. Can you stop the screen sharing? You'll be visible full screen.
Oh, sorry. I thought I had stopped the screen sharing. Oh my God. Okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to break the flow. I'm so sorry.
No. I'm glad you told me. In my mind, I thought I had stopped the screen sharing and I was talking, assuming you guys were seeing me. Okay, sorry. And thank you. Yeah. So what I was saying is that the diffusion, if you, let me explain this again. Yeah. The oxygen diffusion part. Whenever you're breathing deeper, your lungs are allowing your bronchi, your bronchitis and your alveoli to expand. वहाँ जो membranes है जिससे transfusion होता है oxygen carbon dioxide का blood में, वो expand होता है. जब वो expand होता है तो surface area बढ़ता है. Surface area बढ़ता है तो diffusion of gases becomes better. ये ऐसा कुछ हो तो उसका diffusion कैसा होगा, exchange of gases कैसा होगा versus ऐसा हो, है ना? So this gives it more space to transfer the gases, and there is more oxygen in the blood, which allows better functioning of the different parts of your body. Okay, so if you think of it, it's very simple. Deep breathing or pranayam, one, fires in your parasympathetic system, which tells you that there is no fear, calm down, it's all fine, you are in control. The sense of you are in control comes when your body is functioning in the parasympathetic system. In your rest and recover system, that's when you feel that you are in control and everything will be managed. That also happens when your brain is thinking properly. So asana and pranayam allow that transfer to happen from your sympathetic system to your parasympathetic system and from your emotional brain to the thinking brain. Now, when you do it continuously over time, the brain gets into the habit of being in control. Okay, and you are also training your emotional system to pick up the right kind of threats. So this training you are doing by practicing yoga, pranayam, asana over a extended period of time. आप हफ्ता भर करोगे ना तो भी आपको change feel होता है. So you can just imagine if you do it for a prolonged period of time, you can deal with life better in general. Okay, so that is what that is how yoga really helps. But the point to note is it's not just yoga and pranayam. All this also depends on the kind of food you eat. Yeah. So Krishna says something very interesting. He says, "Yukta ahara viharasya, yukta karmasu cheshthasya, yukta swapnava bodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkha." A person who's balanced in what he eats, how he works, travels, whatever, how he eats, how he intakes, how that energy is used, who works in a balanced manner. He's not overly workaholic, neither is he lazy. Yeah, he's not burning himself out. One who's sleeping well and who's waking up well, yeah, for a person like that, all his troubles will go away. That is what essentially it is. To become a yukta. To become a yukta means to achieve balance internally and externally. Okay. Now, how to? Sorry, but how to achieve that balance? That is by, again, ensuring your cortex is the master and you are not a slave to your emotional system. That is by training your cortex to take back in control. The reins have to be with your buddhi, right? That is what you do through yoga. So this is the, how do I say, the theory part of it. I have a slide on how some of these things can be started, or the basic asana and pranayam. But before we go that, I would like to take some questions. If there are any questions, if there are any thoughts you want to share, kuch clear nahi hai, then please let's discuss this now. Yeah, so Vishnuji says, The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg states that majority of our decisions are driven by our habits. The habit cycle is cue, routine, and reward. Yes. When there is cue, dead end while driving a car, routine of putting brake automatically happens. These habits are stored in basal ganglia and makes us act automatically based upon our routine. What is your input on this? As I said, right? We are actually training our brain. Our brain cells are very, very trainable, be it the cortex, be it the limbic system. So whatever you do again and again and again becomes a habit, because the memory of that gets stored into your brain cell, and that's how you function. So what I was saying, where we say that your sympathetic nervous system is kicking in again and again and again, that's because you are in the habit of just reacting every time. That is because every time there is a desire, you want to jump and satisfy it. Every time that desire is not contained and the pain point kicks in, you try and massage that pain point, show your anger, react in a certain way, right? So your body then gets used to it. Your body does not, your brain is not used to listening a no. Your brain is not in the habit of saying, I'm okay with something not happening my way. So that is also a habit. So it's very, very true. Your reactions are then based on your habit. That comes the most, see, like everything else, right? Our brain also tries to conserve energy as much as we can. That is how the body functions. Wherever not required, we want to use as least an energy as possible. By making something a habit, you are working out of a reflex, which conserves your energy. Now, in this conserving of energy, sometimes the habits actually start impacting you in a negative way. That's when you have to effectively ensure that the habit is cut and the habit is changed. Through yoga, we do that. We change the habit of triggering of your pleasure and pain points again and again. Through yoga, we say, fine, relax. Sympathetic nervous system does not have to see everything as threat. This is not a threat. Change it. You are changing the stimuli that creates your pleasure and pain. By changing the stimuli and also making your systems act in a certain way, by giving the control to your thinking part, you are developing newer habits. So over time, then you get used to it. That is why when somebody does yoga for a long period of time, agar wo kuch din na bhi kare yoga, he will still be very balanced. Your body will still pick up only the right food to eat. Because your body knows, right? Your body knows ki bhai khana hai, for my development, I need right amount of carbs, fats, blah, 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 all of that. Now, my body will ask for that kind of food if I have trained it in that way. If I keep feeding junk, my body will get used to junk itself, right? And then it will show in my entire system. So this is very true. I completely agree with this Vishnuji. Actually, this is also the point I was trying to make. Any other question, thought, doubt, anything? If you ask, मुझे ऐसे लगेगा कि चलो, people have understood. Okay, then maybe I share a few thoughts on what is the takeaway, right? ये तो चलो theory part है, चलो ठीक है, but how do you start from here? What is a good way to start yoga? आप कोई लोग करते होंगे, कोई लोगों को करना होगा, but अभी तक somehow वो right trigger नहीं आया है. So what is a good way to start? Yeah, I think asana and pranayam both go hand in hand. But अगर आप कुछ ना कर सको ना, you don't have time, you only have 5 or 10 minutes in the day to spare, life is very busy, no problem, start with pranayam. I think that is a great place to start. Okay, so start with Kapalbhati and Nadi Shodhan. These two pranayams are already will already set up your system, or rather they are Shuddhi Kriyas. So Shuddhi Kriya will cleanse your system, will detoxify your system in a way, right? Once your system is detoxified, brain bhi apne aap thoda sa shant hoga, and you will be pushed to try out other things as well. So if you have no time, do 5 to 7 minutes of Kapalbhati and 5 to 7 minutes of Nadi Shodhan. Okay, now we don't have time now, nahi to maine karke bhi dikhaya hota, but maybe we do it at some other session, maybe we just do a class of yoga one day. And then the other thing, so then there are some asanas which are very easy for you to start. Yeah, very simply, agar aap roz din mein 2 baar just do this. Yeah, you can see my hand, just stretch your hands, make a namaste mudra, stretch your hands out. Now this is a balancing position, right? You will realize कि ये 30 seconds से ज़्यादा रखना मुश्किल हो रहा है शुरुआत में, but staying in this position without doing much else is one making you aware, and और भी कोई विचार आपके दिमाग में चल रहा होगा ना, they will be cooled down for some time, because right now your brain is focusing on ensuring your posture is straight. Okay, so also what this posture does is it opens up your chest, it allows the lungs to expand freely and take in right amount of air that is required for you and improve the diffusion of gases. So चलो 2 मिनट है, चलो ठीक है, इतना तो कर लेती हूँ, ताड़ासन तो कर लेती हूँ, which is like standing up and stretching up. इतना सिंपल आप चीजें करोगे, that is also a good way to start. I will share one slide and then picture as well. Ajay is asking, Nadi Shodhan will be Anulom Vilom. Nadi Shodhan is Anulom Vilom, but there is a small difference. So Nadi Shodhan is, basically you breathe in from one nostril, exhale from the other nostril, inhale from the other nostril, and exhale from the previous nostril. Yeah, that is Nadi Shodhan. Now, if you start holding your breath in the middle, then it becomes Anulom Vilom. So basically, if I breathe in and I hold, then I breathe out. And it is done in a certain ratio. So for example, if I breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, then exhale for 8 counts, or some such ratios, then it starts becoming Anulom Vilom, which goes into the pranayam mode, because you're holding the breath, which is called Kumbhaka. So anyways, let's not get there. But yeah, Nadi Shodhan in a way is similar to Anulom Vilom, but one step before Anulom Vilom, where you are just trying to balance out the heat and the cold energies and your nadis. Could you please mention in chat the pranayam and asana? I will send something, 1 second, so that everybody has it. So actually हम सब देख के साथ बात कर सकते हैं उसका. So did people get it? Oh no, sorry. So everybody got this image? I will also open it probably. Okay, so let me also open that slide. Okay, so the pranayams which I mentioned, one is just deep breathing. आप कुछ भी नहीं कर रहे हो, just as I said, sit in any comfortable position and deep breathe करो. Count say at a count of 4 you inhale, count of 8 you exhale. Let your exhale be longer than your inhaling. I think that also starts cooling you down. So deep breathing you can do simply anytime, anywhere. Then you have Kapalbhati and you have Bhastrika. Actually, let me show you. Yeah, that might be easier. So I'm stopping sharing the screen. Okay. So Kapalbhati simply means Kapal, which is your forehead, and Bhati is to shine. So Kapalbhati is that which helps, which brings glow to your face. How does it bring glow to your face? Because in Kapalbhati you exhale actively and inhale passively. आप basically अगर आप हाथ यहाँ रखो तो आप stomach से breathe in करते हो, breathe out करते हो. So it's rigorous exhalation. Inhale अपने आप हो जाएगा. जब आप rigorous exhale करते हो तो क्या होता है कि there is a residual air in our lungs. जो हम normal breathe in breathe out करते हैं उसके अलावा lungs में space होता है. So there is a certain amount of air which is there inside. Now we know, like city like Mumbai जहाँ हम रहते हैं, there is a lot of toxicity in the air. So that air which has been inside, which has never come out, is even more toxic. So by pushing out, by doing this Kapalbhati, आपका सारा जो residual toxic air है वो बाहर आ जाता है. And you fill in your lungs again with fresh air. ठीक है. Now again, fresh air means potential for better oxygen diffusion in the blood. Better oxygen diffusion in the blood, better blood circulation. Better blood circulation obviously comes to your face as well, and that helps the glow. So that is what Kapalbhati means. Yeah. So shine on your forehead or glow on your face. This is what Kapalbhati is. Now, if somebody has high blood pressure, be careful with Kapalbhati. You can still do it, but do it very slowly. Yeah. For others who have no problem, just do Kapalbhati as much as you can. Yeah. You can start with say आधा minute, 1 minute, and then extend it up to 5 to 10 minutes. वो हो जाता है. The other positive of Kapalbhati is उससे because आपका पेट इतना move कर रहा है, it also helps reduce. It's a good calorie burning exercise as well. Let's say that way. So it helps make your stomach flexible and helps burn the fat in that abdominal area as well. So Bhastrika. So I said Kapalbhati and Nadi Shodhan. These are the two good ones to start. ये आप start करिए. And if somebody is feeling very very depressed, अगर already वो depression जैसा feel आ रहा है या बहुत over stress आता रहता है, then Bhramari is a good one to do as well. Now Bhramari you can do morning or before you sleep. Whenever you do is good. Now what is Bhramari? So it's like making Bhramari, जो हम bee होती है ना, humming bee, bee जैसा आवाज करना है, ये करना है. But ये कैसे करोगे? आपके आँख कान बंद होने चाहिए इसके लिए. ठीक है. सो वेरी सिंपल वे ऑफ डूइंग इट इज यू इनहेल फुल्ली, पूरा भर लिया आपने हवा, देन एक्सहेल करते समय आप हम करोगे. इसको आप 5 से 10 राउंड्स कर सकते हो. ठीक है. अभी आई डिडंट पुट माय फिंगर हियर बिकॉज नो नीड राइट नाउ. जस्ट टू स्टार्ट विद दिस इज गुड इनफ. जस्ट क्लोजिंग द आईज एंड द ईयर्स. और आप जब ये भ्रमरी करोगे ना, यू विल फील द वाइब्रेशन इन योर एंटायर बॉडी एंड योर हेड. आप वो फील करोगे. दैट इटसेल्फ विल मेक यू फील गुड. सो भ्रमरी इज अनदर वेरी गुड प्राणायाम टू डू. सो 2-3 these pranayam. And then asan mein, now asan of course will depend on everybody's flexibility, but there are some which I have highlighted, okay, जो bold में है. Those are which everybody can do. अगर operation या कुछ हुआ है तो मत करिए, but otherwise they are easily accessible to everybody, and you don't even have to get into the last pose. Last उसका जो final position है वो भी जरूरत नहीं है. How much ever you can, how much ever your body can do. I think that is good enough. So I think that is it from my side. But yeah, you let me know कोई प्रश्न हो